On the messaging front, on the economy, interesting memo from Ian Sams, who's got a new organization that is he's working with Mitch Landrieu on trying to figure out how the Democratic Party can be a working class party again. Uh, Dan, tell people who Ian is who don't know.
Yeah, he was one of Barack Obama's lead focus group architects and is incredibly well respected within the party. And these kind of weekly emails have been, must read for those who are trying to understand what's going on and how the party is seen. And as he said, if you want to know how the Democrats can get out of this hole, you have to take a look at Republicans and why they've been successful.
Yeah, and you got to be honest.
Yep.
One of the things that I think both parties can suffer from, and you're seeing it now with Republicans regarding the president's poll numbers, is pretending things that are happening are not happening, or vice versa. And what's striking about this Ian Sams memo, which is contrasted from the American Bridge press release and from Dan Pfeiffer's usual misses, is they did some actual research and they talked to working class voters. And as you can see here, the working class voters largely side with Donald Trump. And again, honest people can say, yes, the president's poll numbers are down, but also all the data, recent data shows the Democrats are not in great shape too. So Donald Trump is reigning as the one-eyed man because the Democrats are having so much trouble. So working class voters see Republicans as strong with a known agenda, Democrats weak and ineffective, Republican brand connected to the economy. Working class voters see Trump and the Republicans focused on it. Trump is seen as taking decisive action. Trump is working class voters say identify more with Republicans culturally and see them as less judgmental. And then one point of caution for the Republicans, again, from Democratic research, is perception that Republicans are out for the rich. So, Sean, I know this neither disappoints nor surprises you, but what could
Well, no, I will say
Democrats
that.
who read this do about it?
Well, so the funny part is, it is. I mean, I will say that it is surprising in the sense that I will give Ian Sams and his team some credit here. I think that like you can stick your head in the sand as American Bridge did, and try to just do the opposite. I mean, what Dan described is, at some point you have to be real about your party. And we did that after 2012 in the Republican Party, where some people weren't excited about airing our dirty laundry. But the reality was is that if you actually want to fix the problem, you have to be willing to admit there is a problem and then focus on it. So I will give Ian and his group some credit for being honest about where the lay of the land is. And that's kind of what I was just saying. I mean, the people believe, and this is what that Luntz focus group showed, that people believe that President Trump is out there fighting for them. I've said this over and over again for the last several months. The easy political thing for President Trump to do, if all he cared about was his ego and his poll numbers, he would do nothing. Doge is good for America, good for the government in terms of how it operates. It's not good politically.
Yeah.
And some of these things. So I think that this is the big shift that's happening right now. And again, I think that here, to answer your question, bottom line, smart Democrats would say, okay, I don't necessarily like what's happening, but I'll heed the advice of what Ian Sams and his team is putting out there. If you want to put your head in the sand and say that that's not true, God bless you, keep going. But
Yeah. Dan, forget about the medium and the long term. Today, as Democrats are asked to weigh in on the first 100 days, if you're applying the research that Ian Sams is sharing here, how would you talk about the first 100 days?
Well, I think the thing is, and this goes to what Sean was saying, is the working class is rooting for Trump. They trust Trump. Now, there's a danger because once that trust is broken, it's really hard to get it back. But I think this is where if things turn around in the next 6 to 9 months, it's going to be to Trump's benefit because people are kind of like, he's fighting for us. I trust him. I think for us, the key is we can criticize Trump and hold him accountable. That is appropriate being in the minority. But we have to start offering alternatives at some point. Because if we want to be seen as strong, if we want to be seen as caring about people like you can't just say he sucks. You have to offer somebody a reason to be like, okay, I trust you. I'm going to get behind you. I'm going to stand in line for you, etc. So I think we have got to come up with an economic agenda and frankly, a cultural agenda that connects with people.
Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.